Scaling it, what can you afford? If you have winning campaigns, which I found repeatedly over and over again, I want to rush behind them. So we went from 0 to spending $40,000 a day on Facebook in 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks time. We just kept doubling down, doubling down, doubling down. Because again, I know that if I'm being wired the money every day and I have winning arbitrage, I'm spending 4K to make 6K. I'm making 2K a day. I'm going to keep going until something stops working. I can't buy any more inventory. The advertiser says I'm out, or whatever happens. So that's how you can scale this stuff very quickly. Now it's back with some money, but the idea is you might have to start small to get going. But if you have a winning campaign, then call me, and then I'll be your new best friend. I think we just spoke about this, so this is a bit redundant. But the secret is, with high volume, you can go back to the CPA networks and demand higher payouts, which happens all day long. So if you want to know the difference between the number 1 guy in the acai space and the number 10 guy, it was $3, okay? $3 changed everything because he was able to go back, and while everyone else was getting paid $35, he said, look, I need $38. And if he gets an extra bump in payout, he wipes everybody out of the market. And it's really lonely to be him because he has all the inventory now. So sometimes it's little things that make a world of difference in terms of your ability to scale this stuff. So with volume, go back and ask for higher pricing. I guarantee there's margin in all this stuff. So, for example, if I...
Can I ask you a question there?
Please.
I'm confused at that point. When you say suddenly he's getting 38 instead of 35,
yep.
What do you mean he bumps everybody else out of the market?
Well, his ability now to buy more media than you is increased. So if you, getting paid $35, can only afford to pay, say, 60-cent CPC, and that works for your math, since he's getting paid $3 more, he might go in and pay 65-cent CPC. And in a lot of these auction-based CPC networks, it's winner take all. Okay, so that one guy gets 90% of the inventory. So it's become this bidding game. So the guy that bumps out everybody else gets all the inventory. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, if you're doing volume on this offer, it happens to be an automotive offer from our friends at Convert2 Media, and it's an auto loan offer, and your niche is auto loan because you figured out how to drive customers because you know where they're coming from, and now all of a sudden you're doing 1,000 leads a day at $13.50. The first call I would make would be to this guy saying, you know what, bro, I need $15. I need 8. I mean, be ridiculous, okay? I need $20, okay? And they'll meet you somewhere in the middle, but I guarantee there's margin in here for you. So that oftentimes can be the difference between making a campaign and not. I talked about weekly payments. If you're doing high volume, demand weekly payments. There's hundreds of affiliate networks that are vying for your business. So if you're a little bit egregious and say I need weekly payments, they'll do it for you. I mean, like, bring me gold bars, bro. I mean, whatever. Just be outrageous because they need your business. They're relying on you guys to drive them volume. So, I've gotten paid cash. Getting paid cash is kind of fun to see that kind of amount of money. I want cash, and it has to be in pennies too. You could be outrageous, right? Because they need your volume, and so that's where you should go back and really push these guys.
When we talked about, in your example, about 90% net.
90.
What?
Oh, net payment. So I'm paying out Microsoft 90 days later. Okay, so you want to build those relationships where you get money in as fast as you can, but you're paying out as slow as you can. That's how you scale very, very quickly. And it's great if you're working with a big company like Microsoft. Like, you're so small, it doesn't even matter to them. Like, you're a rounding error in like some things. So you might you pay 6 months later maybe, but that's what you want to do. I mean, you want to basically leverage that to the extent that you possibly can to help grow your business, because we're all in here trying to grow our business. We're trying to get from 0 to something. So you've got to, don't be illegal or don't be weird, but you've got to push every single button to get this stuff off the ground. So if it means slow paying somebody, that's what you do, okay? So again, doing this type of thing can get you very big, very fast. I keep mentioning Chris, my 19-year-old friend. He went in the course of about 6 months to spending about $400 a day. And he was a guy that started with $100. Now again, I can pretty much tell you that you may not all do that, but hopefully you're some element of that. But I mean, I've seen people scale exceedingly quickly. They're smart marketers that understand cash flow, that understand how to basically isolate variables. They can reverse engineer things quickly. and they can turn it on very, very fast. So you can be very big, very fast. Okay, I'm not sure how we're doing on time, Saj. I don't know if it's a lunch break. Okay, so why don't we take 15 minutes or so, and I can answer any questions for you. When I come back, we're going to talk about direct response and some of the techniques I've used to when you create landing pages or some of the creative that will get you high click-through. But is there any questions that you have now that I can answer for you? Okay, one question there.
Hey, Scott. How do you track all these different variables?
Yeah, so
What are the kind of things you use to track that?
So I'll talk a little bit about some of the more advanced things that you can use, but in general, they're going to tell it to you. So if you go into Facebook, which we did earlier, if I can still have this up, they're going to tell you, for example, how many impressions you get, right? So you can either use their interface, or you can, I haven't run these campaigns forever, but look at all my different campaigns that I ran. So here was the one that I did for seniors, right? I figured out Shaq calls me a senior, but I'm not really. I'm 22.
You know the market.
I'm 21. I've heard about the market. But nonetheless, I mean, that's one market. So you can see here that I have some of my picture being painted for me. I know that I had 2.5 million impressions of my ad. I know that my ad was clicked on 1,100 times. Here is my click-through rate, which is actually pretty good. My average CPC was 44 cents. Okay. My average CPM was 19 cents, and I spent 480 bucks, okay? So now you have kind of the cost component of it, and you have some conversion, right? Now I'll go back and I'll log into my affiliate network for the revenue piece of it and say, okay, those 1,100 clicks got me, 300 sales, right? And those sales are paying out to me $2, okay? 600 bucks. 480, that's not a great example, but 480 turns into 600 bucks. Holy crap, I'm profitable.
And then the other on-page factors, you'll use analytics or...
Yeah, now the more the advanced stuff, I mean, there's tools like Prosper 202, there's, you could use Google Docs, but the point is, you got to measure this stuff. And if you hate math, you're in the wrong business. I mean, you got to kind of be a direct marketer. You've got to measure this stuff. If you don't measure it, you're just throwing money away. So a lot of times they're going to tell you all this stuff for you, right? They're going to do all the math for you. You just need to tie together everything in a systematic approach. And if you're losing money, you want to be able to isolate that and say, I'm losing money because of this. Sure. You know what I mean? I'm paying too much, or this amount of inventory is not converting, so cut this inventory. Make sense?
Yeah. Do you do the math all yourself? Do you outsource people to...
I try to do it myself because I just want to know what's going on. It's my money. You know what I mean? If it's my money, I want to know what's happening and ways I can fix it. Now, when I was running the big media buying teams of 20 people, we had systems to do a lot of the math for them. So if it was green, that's good. If it's red, like click, that's bad. You know what I mean? I wanted to create scalable systems, and a little bit later today we'll talk about building businesses out of this and selling them for a lot of money. But you want to create systems that allow you to look at stuff very quickly and figure out why you're losing money and why you're making money. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so for people that understand ClickBank, do people get ClickBank here? Yeah, so ClickBank is, they call it gravity. So it's an indication of how many sales are going on in a particular vertical. Now CPC is a little bit more specific. It's actually going to tell you, but it's a similar thing. It's an indication of what offers are hot. You don't want to focus on offers that have low eCPC. You're wasting your money. Go with the best advertisers you possibly can. People have been doing it for a long time. They get it. So their ads are converting like crazy. So eCPC, eCPM, or eCPC is very similar. ePC is very similar to Gravity. Yeah, very, very similar. Okay.
So ClickBank is something like a less sophisticated affiliate network?
Yeah, but I think Saj would probably disagree. I think it's very sophisticated. A lot of money being made there, no doubt. They just have different units of measurement, right? So if you said Gravity into the media buying world, they'd be like, yeah, bro, like the moon's right there, and yeah, I weigh 180 pounds. That's Gravity. So that's what I'm saying. If you say JV to media buyer, they'd be like, I am, like, what is that? So that's why it's important. If you want to get media buying, you have to know how it's spoken about, and you have to know what the game is played. But again, Gravity, EPC, very, very similar. Okay. All right, we're going to grab some lunch now, I think. Or is there a quick thing we have to do here, or we're good to go? We're going to have our Master of Ceremonies. But again, when we come back, we'll keep cranking through this stuff. I love your feedback. If I'm going too fast, too slow, just let me know, and we'll keep getting through it. Okay? Thanks, everybody.
Just a 1 hour lunch break, guys. Come back on time. We've still got a hell of a lot to go through, but piece of good news for you guys. We were thinking of ending today at 5 o'clock because of the tube strikes that are impending, but we're going to keep on rolling. So for those of you who can stay behind, please do. We're going to be going to about 6:30 probably at this rate. But for those of you who have to go, don't worry. We're going to have all the footage sent to you in due course. So either way, we're going to be here until about 6 o'clock. Thanks a lot, guys. See you in about 1 hour.